Let me introduce myself. My name is Tinu Odunuga, and I am that talk show host who tries to use the platform to facilitate and support those who are working positively towards development in different avenues. I would not take your time. The topic this evening is based on sex before marriage. Is it a religious view, or is it just something we all decide to do? Would you prefer to keep yourself before you get married without knowing the person you're going to marry if he is able to please you sexually or not, or if the woman is what you want behind the closed doors? So we're talking about sex before marriage. Those who are just joining in, I welcome you, Mr. Akib. Hello. I welcome so many other people who are coming in shortly. What is your view on sex before marriage? Let me just say something very quickly. A lady called me recently, not too long ago, and then she asked me, she said she is ready to settle down with a man, but she is not sure which one of the two she should choose from. There's a specific man who she has known for so many years. This man is the man that supported her during her university days while I was still back home. And the other man is someone she met during her as a doctor. Now, she said the one who was very close to her so many years ago is very comfortable. But when it gets to bedroom business, the man has something we call erectile dysfunction. For those who do not know the meaning of erectile dysfunction, it is a kind of actual illness, sort of something that can reduce a man's libido. And that can occur maybe after taking their pills or their tablets, medical tablets. It could be anything could lead to that, or maybe when there's in him. But it's a medical term in a way that it affects a man sexually. It reduces his libido, but some of them do get something. There's a lot you could do to make yourself stronger in a way to energize yourself. But the second man, she said the other man is not financially stable, but behind the closed doors, the man makes her happy. She said it's like blowing, berries in her tummy. She just feels that butterflies each time she's with the other man. But she said the other man depends on her financially. So who should she choose? Should she choose the man who was there for her while she was struggling, the man that helped her financially during her university days, but cannot satisfy her sexually? Or should she go for the other man who can make her very happy? You know what I mean? And then I said, to be honest, I'm going to pretend. I am not going to pretend. You see, when you are not with a man who can please you behind the closed doors, believe me, it isn't a pleasant experience. I don't know how long you can hold yourself for, but at least maybe a year. Some women 6 months, 7 months, some women 2 3 months, I don't know, but let's just say you hold yourself for a year with a man who is unable to satisfy you sexually. What happens after that? Some people do talk about toys and all that stuff. I do not believe in that, because I believe when you've got a man, the man should be able to play his duty, and a woman should be able to play her role as well. Are you getting my point? Now, this lady is now in a dilemma. She doesn't know what to do. Should she choose the man who helped her through her university days, or should she choose the other man who can give her that pleasure when she needs it? She's now in between. We're going to come back to that in a minute. Now, sex before marriage is a topic for tonight. And that is something the woman would like to know about. This woman, she's got two men. And she doesn't want to be in between the two men. She wants to be able to choose one man and get married to the man. She is a medical doctor. She is in her late 40s, I think, close to late 40s. She is a woman who works so hard, and she wants to be able to settle down with a man. The first man helped her when she was young, but he cannot satisfy her sexually in the bedroom. She is not sure if that is the best choice for her, because she wants to be able to stick to one man. She might not have that opportunity at a later stage in life because she's still active and the man isn't. What will she do? What will she do? The second man is not financially stable. He isn't financially stable, but he can satisfy her to the extent that she wants. You understand the way it is now? So this is what we're talking about now, sex before marriage. Some people would say, oh, when you meet a man, don't allow the man to touch you. And they'll tell them, they'll say the same, they'll say the same thing to the man. When you see a woman, don't allow the woman to touch you, because I want you to keep yourself as a religious person. Mostly we hear this in Christian homes. Not all Christian homes. I mean, some specific Christian homes. There's something like, when you meet a man, you have to be able to keep yourself. I remembered, for those who are Yorubas, they'll understand that I think, this kind of a history that happened so many years ago when our fathers and mothers were so so religious and so holy in that aspect. They had something like a white cloth. In the Yoruba history, so many years ago, I'm not so good with too many histories anyway, but I'm going to tell you this one. In those days, when a woman is ready to get married, in that culture, what happens is that the parents and the in-laws, they will come together and give the woman a white cloth, a piece of white cloth. And what happens with that white cloth is that you will now take this white cloth to your husband. Or I think then the husband would hold the white cloth the first night, I think after marriage, the first night after marriage, and he will come back with a blood stain on the white cloth. This proves that the woman is a full-bodied woman. That means that the woman the woman is intact. Let's put it like that. But a woman who comes out with nothing on when they both come back without anything on the cloth, that means the woman has been promiscuous. And promiscuity was not allowed in those days. The woman will be beaten or she'll be chased out of the family house. She will be disgraced. That's transferred to our generation. We in the 50s and those in the 60s too. They know that after 21, you should not, don't allow any man to touch you. That's what we grew up to understand. Don't allow any man to touch you until you're 21. Some of us try to get to up to 20, But today, I can assure you, if that white cloth was still in process, I am sure that so many girls, even before, I think even 16-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls, would not even be intact. So this really bothers so many people. And I'm now thinking, that's not fair. When you say no sex before marriage, what happens to a woman who keeps herself and then she gets married to an impotent? What happens after marriage? Let's say both of them are Christians, born again. Assuming they're Christians, are you going to say, let's start praying for them? Let's start fasting? When both of them have, they've been together for like, they caught each other for about a year, and then the man does not tell the woman that he is an impotent or he's got a problem down there, and then they get married. Obviously, the woman will be waiting for the man to touch her. The woman will be so looking forward to having children. And what happens? Because you see, I'm going to tell you a story, and this is real. This couple are Christians. They're Christians. And both of them have been planning, oh, when we get married, we're going to buy this for our children. I'm going to send my daughter to this school. I'm going to send my son to that school. And then they got married after about a year, few months. The guy did not touch the lady. And the lady was telling her friends that she had a gentleman as a man to be, as a husband to be. After the night, I think, the night after the night of the wedding, the woman realized that the man couldn't do anything with her. And then the man, obviously, he just kept crying and crying. And he apologized to the lady and said he's sorry because he cannot do something down there. And that's why he's not been able to touch her. The woman is someone who has been out with men before, so she's not intact, if you get my point. Now, in that kind of a relationship, is she allowed to divorce that kind of a man? Because the man is not ready to divorce her. Let's be sincere with each other. Let's be sincere. Is she allowed to divorce the man? A man who got married to you, and you thought, you might have been thinking, you're married to a man who can satisfy you sexually in the bedroom to the extent that after marriage, you will be having as many children as you want. But on the night of the wedding, you realize that the man is impotent. But as a Christian, you're not allowed to divorce. What should you do? Would you just start praying? You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like that to happen to any of your relations or any relation at all. Now, what would you now do? What would you do? I think before I start giving my opinion, I would just like to see some comments first. I welcome all those coming in. I think what I'll do is to mention your first name only without mentioning the surname, since it's going public. So I welcome Akib, I welcome Tony, I welcome Femi, I welcome Dotun, I welcome Kofi, I welcome Aloe, I welcome Adepoju, I welcome Ayola, I welcome you all. What I'm talking about is sex before marriage. So I'm just going to have a quick recap for those who are joining us, who have just joined us newly. Well, I started with a story of someone who came to me recently. She did ask me to post this story because she wants to hear what people would say. She wants to know how people would reason with her. She now said she has been seeing a man, a man. That's the way she started the story. She said she's been seeing a man, but there's another man on the other hand that she's known, and she's now ready to get married. The one she's seeing, okay, is a man who has helped her while she was going through her university days. She was struggling back then as a lady, a young lady then. And the man helped her back then. She's now a medical doctor. And now the second man is a man who isn't working. I think let's just say it might be I think he's got a job, but he's not having enough coming in, you know. But what she is worried about is that the first man, who is financially stable, has a problem down there. His libido is weak enough. The second man, who is working, doing something little, but cannot, maybe finance what she needs, is a man that can satisfy her behind the closed doors. So what she wants to know now is that between those two, which one should she pick? Should she stick to the man who can satisfy her sexually, but cannot finance what she needs? Or should she stick with the other man who cannot satisfy her sexually? And then after that, I now explained that, an incident that happened here. And what happened after that is the fact that on the wedding night, the man revealed a secret to the woman. And the secret is that he cannot please the woman sexually. He said he's got a problem down there, so he cannot please the woman. So what do you think about sex before marriage? Gosh, I can't believe you just listen and you're not even sex before marriage. Would you advise someone close to you? Okay, let me put it this way. If you are the lady, would you advise the lady, if she was your friend, if you know the lady, would you advise her to stick to the man who turns out to be an impotent on the wedding night? Or what would you do? What would you do? Because when the man comes out to you and says, sorry, I cannot please you. Sorry, we can't do anything. But both of you are expecting children after your wedding. As Christians, would you advise the woman to divorce the man? Or would you advise the woman to stick with the man? What would you do? Let's put ourselves in that situation. It is not something I would ever each other's inner feelings. You can feel that connection. The journey of love becomes so fruitful and meaningful to you. When sex is involved, that makes it all just like it becomes magnetic. If you get my point, it becomes so magnetic when sex is involved, and it becomes so fruitful and meaningful. In that aspect, when sex is not there, how can you connect both physically and spiritually? I don't understand. How can you connect like that? I mean, when both of you are old together, that's something you could do. But when you're young, I do not know. But I feel there's something you could do. This is for those. I don't want to sound too real here, for real, because there's some people who are going through erectile dysfunction due to age or illness or something like that. And I would not ask the women to leave that man. They do talk about toys, which I don't believe in, but some people use the toys and it works for them. But I feel that both partners could see the doctor and speak to the doctor. I feel there's other things they could do. That's if the man is ready to please the woman. And the woman should be understanding. That's a different case. We're not going to talk about that now. That is a different case. We're talking about sex before marriage. What happens? What happens when a man meets a woman and the man feels he's got his match, the woman feels she's got his match, and then on the wedding night, one of them disappoints the other. I'm now going to talk about a woman's own weakness as well. Okay, in